Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a weekly budget update. We will be doing the very first official week of January, so January the 6th going all the way through January the 12th, and what we purchased this week. So if you're new to my channel, hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Shakema and I am a Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University grad. I use the zero-based budget to keep myself and my kids moving in the right direction as far as our finances are concerned. So probably over a year ago, I found this new budget sheet. I have been using something previous to this one, but this is the MYMT Personal Budget Worksheet tracking weekly expenses. And this will allow me to track my budget as it were. I do a planned budget and then the actual when monies come in, and then I am able to down here track my weekly expenses. So my monthly budget is already on my channel. You can go back and check for that one, but here is where I'm marking in my weekly expenses. So since the first week was not technically the first week because it didn't have a full week, I counted those expenses which are already paid for the 5th week of January. That way I could start the first official week of January on week 1. I just like to keep my weeks together. So let me move forward and tell you what I was able to pay this month. So as far as my cell phone bill, which was due on the 11th, I paid that at $109. Normally I would have paid my son's cell phone bill, but because we had a few less, well, because we're behind on some other monies coming in, I had to cover. I just asked my son if he would pick up his cell phone bill this last month. Normally I pay his cell phone bill for 4 months, and he pays my portion of the car insurance, and we pay that every 6 months. So to cover my portion, because our car insurance company won't let us use 2 different credit cards to pay, I just pick up his cell phone bill for 4 months. But because I had to cover other expenses, he was fine with picking up his cell phone bill for January. So I paid my bill at $109, which gave me living or housing expenses of $109 for this week. Moving forward, for my... Okay, this is the week that my PureFlix came out at $7.99 and my Healthways gym came out at $25. So that gave me a total personal expenses of $32.99. Okay, so for groceries, I took out my cash earlier in the month, and I was in the grocery store this morning. I needed to replenish my almond flour. That just had to be done. So I took money out of my grocery envelopes. I took a little bit out of each week because almond flour is expensive. But I did see that they now have a great value brand almond flour that I am prayerful is a little bit cheaper than the Nature's End, which is what I normally get from Walmart. But the only bag they had a hole in it, so I had to end up getting the one that was $11.99, and that was a little bit expensive. So I got the almond flour, and I didn't have quite enough to cover it, so I had to spend $4.56 to cover the little bit that I was over for that. So for groceries this week, $4.56. Then here where I have these personal expenses, where I had my Netflix or my PureFlix and my gym, those were my regular payments. I'm sorry, I said personal expenses, but those were my regular payments. These personal expenses here. So now I did not account for a couple of things here. The first thing I didn't account for on Wednesday was I got a notice in my box. My post office renews February 1st. But if I pay by a certain date, they'll give me the reduced price that I've been paying for the last almost 2 years. So I chose to go ahead and pay it. It was $35. And so now my post office box is paid until August. And then the other day I got a notice. I am actually having something added on to my licensure. And so I'm having an alternate area added on. I already have 2 areas on, but I am adding a 3rd area. But I was not aware that that paperwork had been processed just yet. But when I got the notice, it just said, go ahead and pay your $60 fee. So I actually ended up having to take money out of my savings account and put that $60 in to pay that online fee. So that was not a planned expense, but I didn't realize that was going to happen this week. But the lady just sent the email, and so I went ahead and took care of it. And so now I'm just under the review process, and it's just adding on an alternate area. I have business and marketing, and then I'm adding on a 3rd. So that was $95. Moving down to my transportation. So far I have put $26 worth of gas on Monday, and then $10 on Thursday just to get me through. And then here I had to get my license renewed, and I was able to get the real ID. So that was 40. Okay, my license was 40. And then 46 of that should go back up here to miscellaneous mom, because I had to get my passport. So my passport, this was the processing fee. It cost me $46. So there was some expense there, and I put that in the wrong place. So now I have it fixed. But my license is renewed. I was coming up due on that on my birthday, which is February the 5th. And so now that I have, I was needing to get it for my passport, because I still had my married name on my license. So I had to change that. And if you're ever trying to get your maiden name back, you will need a copy of your divorce decree. You'll need a copy of your new address. Just, you know, well, in here in North Carolina. So I took all of my paperwork that I needed, my birth certificate, all the things, and I was able to get my license and process for my passport. So that was $76 that I spent. And then for a tithe and offering, I didn't have anything this week to go out in that area. So let me go back to the first. Okay, I did put the $60 in. So I had to move $60 out of my emergency fund because I didn't have it. Because I did not have that anywhere else, and there was no extra. So I just ended up moving it out. Of course, I get a supplement at the end of January, so I'll just move it back in. And I spoke with Dad this week, and he assures me that he has made a payment. We'll see. Right now, he's behind for the total month of December. So, and then about a couple weeks behind in January. So it's just off right now. Anywho, I was glad to have the money in my emergency fund, so I was able to get that $60 paid for my licensure. So moving on down to date, I have had to allocate for $3,263.40. I've paid my mortgage at $909.95, my utility bill $219.73, my water bill at $57.13. My telephone bill was $109. My internet was $70.99. My student loan, I was able to pay ahead $200, so that's at $356.10. A lot of times I'm kind of stuck between that rock and a hard place of maybe I should have just saved the $200, then I would have had enough to do my licensure, but I didn't know that was coming, so I went ahead and paid the, you know, $200 extra here. It's just always that juggling act, trying to figure out, yes, do it, wait to the end or whatever. But I'm thankful that I was able to pay that, and I'm hopeful to be able to pay a little bit more. And definitely when I get my supplement in January, I'm prayerful that I'll be able to pay a nice size chunk of that student loan. Amazon Prime at $13.12. PureFlix at $7.99. Healthways Gym at $25. I've paid Taekwondo at $3.25. I've paid my CCRTU, which is my online Bible school, $50. I have done for groceries $266.74, which I had $253.62 budgeted, so I'm only over by like $13 on my groceries. And actually it looks a little better if I just go ahead and take that off, and I'll just put it up here, $253.62, and then you can see I'm only off by like $13 and some change, 12 cents. As far as miscellaneous, Mom, so process for my passport was $46, and then for my licensure. And then for Gracie, we went ahead and took out her monies. I paid for the post office box, $35. So far in gas, I have $62 spent. My license renewal was $40. Tithe was $530. And to date, I have paid out $3,243.75, leaving me a balance of $19.65. Now, if you notice, I'm still not where I need to be as far as gas is concerned. I budgeted in $120. I'm only at $62, and I only have less than $20 left. But I'm prayerful that that will work out. Again, Dad said he was sending a deposit, and that should cover me for the rest of the month. We'll see. But if not, I'll just take gas money out of my emergency fund with no problem, just so we can have gas. We have food, we have everything else, and all of the bills are paid now, so we're not looking to pay anything else, because everything that needs to be paid is paid. I have a confirmation number on every single transaction, and no more unexpected things that I can foresee. Don't know for sure, but I'm not planning anything. So there it is, our budget update for the first official week of January 2019. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you like this video, give it a thumb up. Says we like your video. If you're new around here, hit the red subscribe button. We love to keep you as a part of our YouTube community. Also hit that little bell. That way you never miss an upload from us. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next week when it's budget update time again. Bye now.